Using momentum indicators on a trading chart can help you make a lot of money because it measures the rate of change. And what that means is you can identify tops and bottoms much easier so you can make more money. Today, I'm going to share with you my favorite indicator. There are thousands, but I'm also going to show you step by step on how to set it up so you can get the most use out of the indicator and what you should be looking for. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's dive straight in. So I've just taken a chart. It doesn't even matter what the chart is, but it's just some data from Ethereum from a few months ago. And what I've got at the bottom of the chart is an indicator. Now, there are thousands of indicators. So in TradingView, there's a button over here, if I can just really show you really clearly, up here at the top, which is indicators. If you click on that, and you'll see that if you go to, well, my favorites over here, if I just go to technical, you'll see that there's just thousands of indicators. There's a whole list of them. Like there's a list longer than literally there's a lot. There's a lot. So the one I'm going to share with you today is this blue and red one at the bottom. It's called the stochastics RSI. But all indicators effectively do the same thing. They're measuring rate of change. Why is it important to us and what are we looking for? What am I looking for? Is something that helps me identify tops and bottoms. Tops and bottoms. Now, by itself, an indicator, because it's lagging, is historical data being projected into the future or the present, is not great by itself, but it can be a phenomenal tool in addition to other technical analysis elements that you may be using. So before I show you how to set it up, look at this indicator that's been really, really helpful to me. Why? Well, it helped me identify certain tops in advance. So we're looking at when the blue line goes below the red, it married up quite nicely with this top. When the blue line went above the red, it married up pretty nicely with this bottom. And again, over here, and again, especially this one over here, this one here was a key point with a bigger correction that ended up taking off as well. So what we're looking for is an indicator that can help us buy low and then sell high. How cool is that? Now, the great thing about indicators is that they're very mechanical and objective. You don't really need that much discretion or subjectivity, mainly because is the big question. Is the blue line below the red or is it above the red? That tells you what the market should do next if it's been following previous cycles very, very nicely. So I'm just going to share some terminology with you before we get cracking with the settings. So there's a terminology called overbought and oversold. So you see I've got this black line over here that's set at a 75 level. We've got this another black line down here below that's set at a 25 level. And basically what these do for me is that they tell me if the market is likely to be reaching a local top or a local bottom. So in other words, when the blue and the red line go above this point over here, as in the 75 level, I'm on high alert that we may be getting a local top. When it then crosses over, the blue line goes below the red, now the momentum cycle has turned bearish. In other words, it's pointing down. And then the market or the momentum goes down. And then when it goes below this red line over here, or this black line over here, below the 25 level, now it's oversold. So overbought up here, and then oversold. In other words, I should be anticipating, and you should be anticipating some type of local low. And then when the blue line goes over the red, we've had a bullish reversal, and that can help us identify and be even a criteria before we even consider a trade. And it tends to line up. So you want to play with momentum indicators and find the one that suits you and resonates with you the best. I love the stochastics RSI mainly because it's really simple. It's a blue and a red line. If it's above the black line, below the red black line, I know it tells me very important information. If the blue and the red line cross on the upside, I go, right, I'm anticipating sideways to down. So the immediate trend is down. And then if it reverses, I go, right, now I'm only looking for long trades. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to start from scratch. So we're going to go to indicators and you're just going to type in STOCH, stochastics RSI. Now there's a few different versions of this. My favorite is the stochastics RSI. I'm not going to go into the detail of how the math is calculated or anything like that. The main thing is the blue and the red line. Now, these are the default settings, and you can see that it looks very different to the one that I had before. So you have full autonomy to change this up. So you can either double click on this or right click, click on settings, and then you'll have some options. So we're going to go to style first. We're going to change how it looks. The K is currently the blue line. I'm happy with that other than the thickness. I would like to have the line thicker. So I'm gonna click this over here. So you can decide if you want it thin, if you want it really thick, or in between. The bottom line, again, I want that thicker as well. So I'm happy with that. The upper band, I would like to have it totally black, and I like to have it as a solid line. And again, this is my preference. I like to have it just a bit thicker, either there or there. That will do for me. I don't need a middle band. The lower band, again, I want thick. I want it totally black. And I would like to have it as a straight line. And let's have it to this level also. Do I want a background in the middle? No, I don't need it. I think it's just noise and anything else. Well, the only other two things is the oversold zone and the overbought zone and oversold zone. I personally keep it as 75 and 25. This suits me and serves me incredibly well because different momentum indicators reach these zones really comfortably and other times they don't. So this I have as my setting. And that's it. That's it. You're ready to go. Inputs, we're going to change this in a second. Visibility, we have it on all time frames. So it means you can use the same template on other time frames because I'm going to show you how to save this in just a second. So we go to imports. I use 4 default imports. I'm going to show you 2 today. And these are just Fibonacci numbers. So the fastest look back period. So what does that mean? All right. So momentum indicators, whether it's a moving average or it's a stochastics RSI, it's lagging. And what it means is it's taking historical price data and taking the average right now, and it measures the rate of change. So the settings that I use is the stochastic length. I'm not going to go into detail on what that means. 8533, right? 8533. If you want it exactly how I use it, this is the exact settings that I use. And then we can click OK. The other setting that you can also do, because you can do the exact same process again, is 13855. And you might be thinking, well, Jiggy, which one do you use? Well, I use the one that marries up with the chart the best. And sometimes some charts is going to be the 13855, and other charts is going to be the 8533. Which one should it be? It doesn't matter. We're looking for objective information that tells us when the market is overbought or oversold, and where the momentum indicator marries up with local lows and local highs. So with Ethereum, for instance, it might be the 8533. And with another asset class, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's gold, you'll do the same thing and just see which one marries up the best. So we can click OK. So now it's set. But you don't want to have to do that every single time you want to pull up that indicator on a new chart. So what you do is you click on these 4 boxes over here, indicator template, and at the top it says save indicator template. And just call it what you want. Let's just call it, I normally just call it the stochastics RSI or stock RSI. I normally write the look back period. So 8 is the first number. So it gives me a clear indication it's the 8th one. You can type in look back or whatever resonates with you and write in any other notes. So it makes it easier for you to remember. You can even call it Jagir's indicator if you like. I hope if I can spell it correct. Indicator. Okay, there we go. And once you're happy with it, you can click save. So what that now means is, let's just say you haven't got this on your chart and you pulled up a new chart. You can then simply click on the 4 boxes, and at the bottom is the one that we just created. I've got it here somewhere. Where is it? Here we go. It's this one here. Stochastics RSI 8 look back Jagir's indicator. So we click on that and it pops up and Bob's your uncle. So last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you where you can do the same thing, where you can then pull up another stochastics RSI. This time you would have to just change the settings again and set up the 13855. And then you can save that template. I call it the double 8 and then the 13. And when I click on this, it shows me both. Right? And why is this useful? Well, quite simply, this allows me to see which one's going to better serve me. So if we just look at the lows, because sometimes also you want to take into account is one setting will be better for highs and one will be better for lows. So, well, which one would you use? Well, if you're looking for a low, then you focus on the lows. So let's just say we're looking for the next low. We want to say, right, it looks like we're making a low. We want to identify this. Well, which momentum indicator out of the two settings served us better? When we saw this low, okay, we had this and then this. We go, okay, the top one wins, which is the 8. Okay, when we had this low, that married up very nicely with here. Over here, it was very choppy. So then the 8 wins. This low over here, it was a bit lagging, but again, the 8 wins. This one was just choppy and it just weren't serving us very, very well. So then which one would you use? You'll simply use the top one. So we can just get rid of the bottom one. And then we go, right, this now serves us. Oh, I got the wrong one. I want the 8. I want the 8. Let me just make sure I'll go for this one here, 8533. And then what we can do is I think I've taken the data back with Ethereum, right? So let's just do it like this. So now, just to show you how powerful this can be, once it sets up, we've just taken the data back. And let's just see how it marries up. Now, I would never use a momentum indicator as the only thing, right? Pretty much never. I wouldn't have it as a total strategy. It can be a mechanical strategy, but it's just lagging information. You want to combine this with some patterns, with some price ratios, and a few other things, but this can be a very powerful resource. So what do we see here? Well, what we see here, I'm going to unfold the data, is we got the momentum indicator is oversold. Again, what does that mean? It means it's below the black line, as in below the 25 level. So we should anticipate some type of low. Why? Because it's reacted very nicely previously with the momentum when it lined up like this. And then let's just see what Ethereum did. Let's just unfold the data. So it had some nice reaction to it. And then we had a bearish reversal. Quite low in that sense. And then we had a reaction as well to move to the downside. And then let's just see what the price did. And then we had another bullish reversal over here. What did the price do? You can see it's given us valuable information. Now, I'm just going to show you something just very, very quickly if it's okay, because I think you'll find it helpful. When I'm looking at this, I'm going to show you what we did actually. I'm going to show you the short that we took. We did this. We allowed it to do this. Boom. So we used the momentum indicator to short Ethereum. And there was a key piece of information. So I'm going to show you this, reveal a really, really strong secret over here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I actually have my 4 secrets trading masterclass, which you can actually now take, where I cover this as one of the secrets, double time frame momentum. But what I showed you today is really how to use it on 2 time frames to add even more power to the momentum, to the trend, because the trend is your friend. You want to ride it till its end until it reaches its bend. So you can check out, it's free. Check it out. One of the secrets is double time frame momentum. Today, we went over 1 time frame. So do check it out. I think it will be a game changer for you. So I've got 2 Ethereum charts. We want this one over here. So how do we use this momentum indicator? Well, if you've seen any of my content, you would know that I love Elliott wave patterns. And here we can see a nice A, B, C style correction. Now, I wouldn't go short on this unless we got a bearish reversal on the momentum. And here you can see, if you can really look, if I just even zoom in a bit, you can see it pretty clearly that the blue has just gone below the red. So now that, combined with my pattern, we also have some Fibonacci price and time that says, right, we can now look for a short trade. And we actually went short on this, and the momentum was a key part to this. We said, right, we're going to go short on a 1 bar low, and we're going to have a tight stop loss above this swing high. And then what happened? Well, Ethereum responded really, really nicely. It triggered us into the trade, and then it continued to the downside. And it made a nice movement to the downside. And then it actually continued even a bit further to the downside, and then this is where we are. But during this part of the market, we made some really good profits. But a big part of this trade strategy was this bearish reversal. And then when it turned bullish, we also took some good profits, and we pretty much exited the trade fully over here. So how powerful is that? So there you go. So now you know how to use momentum indicators. My favorite by far is the stochastics RSI. Use it, play with it, use the two different settings. See the masterclass, which I have. This is another product that we have. I'm looking for this link over here. This is the 4 secrets that you must know. One of the secrets is how to use what we showed today on 2 time frames. Very, very powerful. I think it's actually the first secret. And it's actually the minimum criteria that I use before even considering any trade. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm going to finish with a quote of the day from my book. Let's go with, I think it's really relevant, chapter 5. It's Leonardo da Vinci. And he says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Now, making money trading the markets, one of the problems is there's so much information available. There's different patterns. You got head and shoulders and this, and you got flags, and you got double tops, triple tops, and you've got bear flags. You got this, that, and the other. You got cup and handles. I personally only use Elliott waves. You got thousands of indicators. Like literally, there's loads of them with different settings. I go, look, what am I looking for? What's the 20% of information that will give me 80% of my results? That's what I look for. And I'll break it down to 4. But today we really dove deep into momentum indicators, what they can do for us, how to use them, and then how to set them up. So your job is to now play with it. Stochastics RSI, put them on some charts and see how nicely it marries up to the highs and lows, 8533 and 13855. Check out the settings and then unfold some data. You can actually go back using the replay function in TradingView and just unfold the data and go, if you added this to your current trade strategy, what difference could it make? All right, make sure you test it out, and I'll see you very soon.